Look at that. I can sit down. Look at that little kid. He's having a time of his life. So there's my mom. We just dropped her off for the funeral, and I have to wait for these guys before I can drive. There they are. They're going to the funeral with all the other ladies from the village. Again, family. So we just came from the village over there with that one road that you see there. We just came. That's my mom's village, and I just dropped her off for the funeral. There's my 84-year-old uncle coming to the funeral as well, and he's riding his reliable transport, which is his horse. That's my uncle right there. Damling ninjani? Ewe izokufikisa besikubona ngokuhamba phakathi uthi udaba nguwe lo. Ewe sefiki. Okay, so this school here, this is where I started my school when I was doing, this is before the grade system. This is where we still had standards. So I did my sub A, which is like grade 1 here in this school as a little kid, but it's deteriorated so much. It's kind of sad to see. In fact, a lot of schools here in the village are going to be closing down because there are not enough kids. Most people have taken their kids to the city, and that's really, you know, like the problem. And here, so there's no incentive for the government to continue to maintain the schools. Not that they would maintain them if there were kids, but now even worse, you know, without the kids. And I was going to say is the biggest problem, I think, in South Africa in general, when they want a project, they want a project, and people get paid to once the project is approved by the government, private people get paid in what is called tenders, and they get paid to build whatever project, and they're done. But there's no thought given to how are we going to maintain this. How many people are we going to need in order to maintain this in terms of labor? What will maintenance look like? How often will maintenance be done? Those, I don't think they give enough consideration to that. I don't even think they do give it a consideration. But that is the problem, because you build all these things, people get paid, take their money and go, and then you're left with crumbling infrastructure. And that's something that the South African government needs to work on. It's not just about building something, it's about maintaining it for hundreds of years, if possible, to make sure that it's well kept and all of that. So, but it really like saddens me, to be honest with you, because this school here is where I got my sub A, and actually we're still using slates. We didn't even have book at that time. You would write a tablet, what you would call today a tablet. We would write on the slate and then wipe it clean when we were done, once the teacher checks your marks and everything. There were no report cards. You would then be, you know, like we would all come to the assembly, and then the teachers would shout to who's number 1, number 2, number 3, all the way to the last person. But or they would say if your name wasn't called, I think you had to repeat the grade. So, but anyway, that's where we are, and this is where it all started for me school wise. I went the village where I just dropped my mom, and I also attended school there. If it was raining, I attended school here because there's no river that separates the village, this school from our village. But it was very far for us to walk, and then if it was not raining, then I would go to the other school. That's how crazy the whole system is. As long as you were of right age, you could write and do whatever is required to pass sub A. You passed. As a result, when I went to Cape Town to live with my mother, I had to repeat first grade because they said we cannot take your word that she passed, and I did pass, and I was number 1 even in Cape Town. So that's when we still had positions in class. Was number one. And but anyway, it saddens me that they're going to close the school. Let me stop now.